a lot of you have been writing in asking about my pantry. I'm not an organized person, so I was a little reluctant, but if you want to see it, I'll show you. I'm happy to show you. The funny thing is I know from the Wrangler Star channel, a bunch of you have come over and a lot of you are preppers. So you might find this very interesting. I do not consider myself a prepper. I am not an apocalyptic thinker. But I have prepper behavior. Okay, now we're gonna go downstairs. Now I'm just gonna warn you, my husband and I live like a roving band of gypsies. Or maybe just like parentless children. I don't know what. So as a therapeutic baker, as I mentioned before, I have right now 4 kinds of chocolate. Hard chocolate. I have 3 different kinds of cocoa powder. So you can see I am truly in love with baking. So these are Bob's Red Mill flours, grains, things like rolled oats, polenta, sorghum flour, teff, fava beans. I have a couple cases of backup tomatoes in glass jars that I've ordered. Apple cider vinegar, baking soda, baking powder. Some convenience foods that we do buy are bars for bike rides and things like that if I don't have anything made. Dried fruits, dried milk. My husband is a huge juice drinker. Olives, I have 3 different kinds. Stuffed grape leaves, tuna fish, tahini, nut butters, cashew and peanut. Rices, beans, corn, pulses, legumes, quinoa, coconut milk, olive oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil. These are grains, beans that I get from a cooperative here in the Pacific Northwest. They're grown in Washington State and some of them are grown in Oregon. And red lentils, garbanzo beans, I buy from them in bulk. This is the biggest thing of nutritional yeast you'll ever see, but surprisingly it takes me about a year to go through that. And pastas, another convenience food that I buy regularly. So rice, coconut flakes, and kettle chips. I'm totally addicted to kettle chips. I love them. I try not to eat them, but I do. This is all the bulk foods, and I'll show you my canning projects. Plum tomatoes and sauce, and then I have things like different sauces. I have a basil tomato sauce, an oregano and garlic sauce, ketchup, salsa, tomato chutney, tomato jam. This orange one here is an orange tomato sauce with basil. Instead of just putting it in and diluting the color of the red tomatoes, I just made it its own sauce, and I think it's really beautiful. Pickled jalapenos from my garden. Pickled peas, which were terrible, but you know, you gotta learn these things by doing it. So as a jam maker, I basically make jam to gift as gifts. It's just a wonderful hostess gift. It's nice when you're going to somebody's house just to take them a little thank you. But the huckleberry usually stays pretty close to home because it's Glenn's favorite, and I pick them up in the mountains and it takes ages to pick enough to make a batch of jam. And then every year I have something like this, a tower of some dark thing with seeds in it that is an unknown. I have no idea what that is, so I'll have to bust into one of those shortly and label them. And then I have whole pears that I make an au grain. This is from the little tiny French Forelli pears, and you can them in a vinegar, wine, vanilla beans, spiced syrup. They're not very sweet, but they're wonderful with cheeses and crackers and things like that. I have, one year I 2 years ago, I canned green walnuts with a girlfriend. I think we got 5 jars, and it took us like 2.5 days to do this. It was a massive labor of love, and I'm almost kind of too afraid to use it because it was such a big deal. And this is quince paste from my garden that is wonderful with cheese also. And then I have whole cherries. I have bean cherries that I can whole in a light honey and sugar sauce, sometimes with spices, and those are wonderful in making ice cream, cherry ice cream. And then I did the same thing with the Royal Anne's, the pale light yellow cherries. And they're just beautiful. They're nice to have on a little cheese and cracker tray. And then cherries in brandy. I did fig jam, some onion jam. So that's this little bit. Up here are more of the fruit jams that I have. I love pepper jam. I love savory jams actually. So this is a red pepper jelly. I did 2 varieties last year. I did a hot one that set up really lovely, and it has a whole Thai chili in it. So it's this beautiful kind of pinkish jam with this bright green chili. And then I did another one that I tried to make mild. Oh, actually, now that I say that, it did set up. And for months, for some reason, it hadn't set up. But now, it looks perfect. Okay, never mind. I do love to experiment, and they don't all work. This is my Chinese plum sauce. So I love plums, and I love plum sauce. So I use that a lot in cooking. Here's another red pepper jelly. This one's a little bit thinner, but this one has whole, like tons and tons and tons of chunks of peppers in them. Pink plum with lime, nectarine, currant, elderberry. I pick those in the summer. They grow all over, just native around here. Applesauce, pears in wine, peach raspberry with cardamom, green apple, peach marmalade. And those are the remnants. So we're getting close to summer now, and most of my jams I've given away. So that's the canning segment. That's the tour. I'm going to put a list of all of these things, the things that I have on hand right now, and I'll also add in, if there's things that I generally have that I'm just out of because I use most, I'll throw those in too if you're interested. So we'll break that down and put it just below this video in the text box. If you click show more, you'll see the whole list. So feel free to shoot your questions to me. I'm really curious as to why this pantry video was interesting to you guys. I hope it was educational or at least entertaining, if nothing else. And you know, what are your staples? What are things you just can't live without? Are you a food hoarder, or you are minimalist? When I met my husband, he had a ketchup packet in his refrigerator. And his friends joked that he could save a lot of money on a new house by just leaving the kitchen out completely. So his life's changed pretty drastically. And yeah, I'm chatty, I'm rambling. I'll see you next time. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up. It really helps us rank in the searches, and more searches means a bigger audience. A bigger audience is you have more people to reach, and hopefully my love and passion of food and cooking gets somebody into the kitchen and out of the fast food restaurants. So thanks for doing your part. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.